How's it going, everybody? Even though with this day it's worked itself out, let's just say that. I was thinking because I was watching this Ruslan KD video, and it's about the whole blowout that happened with Reach Records. This artist named Gavi, a whole bunch of infidelity, a bunch of like very late reactions. A certain Twitter person blew up and it just exposed everything. But that's not necessarily what I want to talk about, because I think Ruslan did a very excellent explanation. My thing is more so, who are you? Who you truly are, and who you want to be. I say that because I was gonna check out the quality, but I say who you truly want to be, because for myself and who I wanted to be, especially in terms of my Christian belief, is this person who was just always kind and positive and stuff like that. And sometimes I don't know if it was what I forgot. It was this just wasn't a word that affirmed that. But I know for myself that sometimes you just got to be a bit more tactful in how you approach things. And sorry, I'm checking. And it takes so much more reasonableness and how you deal with things and people. And I feel like for myself, I might have to see a psychologist, a therapist, because I don't have any alternatives, and I'm not too good at like socializing. And boy, oh boy, do I feel like a lot of my beliefs about the world are bottoming out, if that makes sense. It's just, I try to be a very positive person, but there's plenty of times where I cut that off. I just try not to be positive, and I just try to keep my vulnerability safe, my vulnerable self safe. Because being a sensitive person, you feel a lot, and when you're hurt and you feel slighted, you feel rejected, you just feel all of it. You feel that all the time, and you just work. You find ways to work around it, you find ways to work around it, and those ways aren't always healthy. They aren't always safe. They're meant to be. It's almost like with your brain. Your brain tries its best to protect you, but it ain't always in ways that are necessarily best for you. Not always necessarily helpful for you. And, it made me think from Ruslan's video how, who are you? Who you truly are. And he was saying how fame kind of reveals who you truly are. It made me remember from one of Bizzle's videos about that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other Christian artists in general, and people in general, have talked about how money just kind of increases who you truly are, because you just get more resources. Don't really stop you from being a different person. You change to be a person just with more resources and more access. So I guess you just be more of that. So, jeez, okay. I don't know what the heck that is. What the heck is that? But, at the end of it, what the heck that is? Just hope I don't do anything crazy with my tires. I guess I just thought about it like, sometimes knowing who you truly are also means knowing what your limits truly are, what your limits truly are, So I think that's something to help people understand. Because even as a Christian, you have a lot of high aspirations and stuff like that. And it made me think about, what's his name, LaGuardia Cross, his wife. And this was years ago when I seen the video, that his wife suffers from like heavy depression, And I'm like, yo, that's crazy, like going through depression. I don't know if I have depression. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't like to really self-diagnose like necessarily for this thing. But that's why I'm saying I want to check a therapist pretty soon, because it's I just don't want to have it be too late where you like, you see all the signs, and then like, you just aren't responsible with how you manage your feelings, and then you fall into stuff, and you just have that negative cycle. And I feel like it's akin to addiction. It's like emotional addiction, and it's not like something you choose to do. Let's be honest. Let's be very frank with that. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't believe addiction is something you choose to do. I think addiction is something that does happen. Just like with any other addiction, it happens because you have a problem, you need to cope, and you use this certain thing to cope with it. It's not something that like, oh man, you believe because you not believe, but you do this certain thing because you just are lazy or whatever. Like, because I think that's stupid. If we treat this like as seriously as we treat addictions, where it's like it's not easy to get off of. It's not like apples and oranges. It's not like something like oh yeah, just get out of it. Just get out of it. It's just like, no, it's not one of those things. It's actually hard to I can imagine it's hard to get out of, because it's hard to really for me to describe it, and I don't even really want to describe it because I know because words will get to me. If I describe it, it'll like, I don't want to validate whatever feelings I feel like I have. But my point is, out of all of this, it's just like, know who you are, know what your limits are, know what your strengths are, know what your weaknesses are, and be responsible. Like sometimes we extend ourselves way too hard, too fierce, too strongly, and yeah, that's a better like that. And we just can't, man. You just gotta run with what you can. It don't matter if people get it. It don't matter if people think you can do better. You need to know your own limits. You need to know your own self. You need to know. I guess that's it. You just need to know. You can't stop acting like people should dictate how you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to feel and stuff like that. I'm not saying that should be an excuse for you to be reckless, but I am saying, like, sometimes you just need to own up to yourself. Be honest with yourself. And I can empathize with the idea that when you say, like, yo, you get this or that, people start acting funny around you because they don't know how to respond, and that's fine. Some people just don't know how to respond. Like today at work, let's just say I just have a hard go at it. Have a hard time for getting through things at work. Let's just say that. And I can see that I might behave strangely, but I just have a binary. I don't run a healthy medium of behavior and personality. It's either I'm like super happy, waving at people, and then get all these like negative rejections, and of course it's probably normal because they're regular people and they don't know me like that, and so they just respond accordingly to their comfort level. So they might respond with a wave, but then after the third or fifth wave that I've done, they might kind of just ignore me or blow me off, or behave uncomfortably. It's understandable. I know I have a weird way of doing things, but I've just learned, and I've been trying to fix that, and today I've just been very standoffish. Like I just look down and just try to get through the day. I do my job. I try to find myself to be very busy. Sometimes I talk to people, but yeah, it's just but that's something I've been learning for myself. It's just not to be so it's to be honest with how you feel, and you don't have to sit here and be mean about it. You don't have to you don't have to blame people. Sometimes it is people's fault, but sometimes it's just like use your thinking cap. And sometimes it is people's fault. Sometimes people are just jerks. Sometimes it's just like it's just the workplace culture that people act like, Like, people will be nice to each other until it's time to go. Now it's your stranger, you know. And I've never understood that, but that's just how it is. You know, I've never liked that, but that's how it is. And I have to get used to it. And I would say anybody who's struggling with that really have to get used to that perspective of culture, of work culture. And my voice is going out. I think it's just good to know that and know your stressors and know people who you have a good idea of who will support you and who won't. And I don't know. I think it's just good for people to just recognize that, you know, recognize triggers, stresses, and people who support you and people who don't. Because if people who don't, and if there's people who honestly might not support you or just too busy, again, like I said, know your limits. And I mean, your friends need to know their limits too, because if they can't help you because they have so much responsibility for themselves, I just encourage people to just be honest. If you just don't have enough to extend to other people, just tell them it's okay. If you can't extend yourself to other people, you can only manage yourself, perfectly fine. That's okay. I just say, don't stretch yourself thin, and don't lie to them. Like, I get it. I can be lonely, but it's sometimes good to know your limits. Know what you can do, know who you can take care of. And if it's only just you, it's okay to admit, yo, I'm lonely, but right now I can't extend myself to somebody else. You know, yo, I really want to be with somebody, but I can't extend myself to another person like that as they need me to. And that's okay. Sometimes you might find somebody who get it, but at the same time, sometimes you might just need to put in the work. And I don't mean, like, you know, to be mean about it. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you need to acknowledge what you need to do, you know. Like, you need to do some internal digging, some introspection. And I guess that's it, man. Like, again, I knew a person from what was it, high school? Not high school. I knew somebody from one of my jobs that I used to work at. And this person was clinically depressed. And this person, you could tell it. I guess maybe it was me, maybe it was the other person, but you could tell it in their eyes. They're like, yo, they're going through it. They're like, and again, it's tough because you don't know what to do. It's tough because you want to make them feel better, but like, it's just they're wrestling with that the thing that they have. They is their battle. And I think the best, I know they get that tips for people who are in that, so I say follow those. I know one of them says, like, you know, don't try to relate to them. Another one's just to be there, you know, because again, I get it, you got the instinct to be like, yo, I gotta do something, I gotta help you, you know. But it's like, you know, the most helpful thing you could probably do is just be there, you know. Sometimes that's the best thing you can do is just be there, be present, and I guess that's it, you know, because I don't want to say any other things that might be triggering, but I say check out for those people who are about that. That's it. Know your limits, know who you are, and be the best you can be, realistically speaking. Not who you want to be, not who you think you can be, or who you humbly, reality-based who you are, and just work according to that. All right.